Hi, I'm Suzanne Williams with Essential Oils, Health Matters, and Living the Wholesome Life, and we are on week 25, day 2 of our positive, peaceful affirmations that we are doing every day, Monday through Friday. We are following Dr. Susan Lawton's book, Positive, Peaceful Growth Calendar, that you can buy at Aroma Tools or Oil Life. It is a book that has positive affirmations, and it has music therapy and aromatherapy essential oils. So if you love those 3 different aspects, or even one of them, I think you're just going to really find a lot of joy in this book. We are working through all of it together, so thank you for being part of the journey with me. The affirmation for the entire week is, I am graciously accepting from others. I'm graciously accepting from others. I can't tell you the beautiful gifts I've gotten, the wonderful gifts I've gotten from other people throughout my life. The gift of their companionship, the gift of their wisdom, and the physical gifts they give me, right? They're all gifts. And I know that as we all open our eyes, we will see a lot more gifts in our lives flowing to us from God, from our family, from those around us. Okay, so again, the affirmation for this week is, I am graciously accepting from others. The affirmation for today is, I am open to receiving whatever people want to contribute to our flow. I love that affirmation. I'm just going to repeat it one more time. I am open to receiving whatever people want to contribute to our flow. And I kind of had to think about that one. I don't know if you're like me. I'm sure you're like me in some ways and different from me in other ways. But I think a lot of people kind of have a idea on how they want their life to flow, and or how they want an event to flow, or how they want a day to flow, and sometimes, often, when we get more and more people adding their ideas to the flow, it changes. It changes the concept. It changes our day. It changes our world. And when that happens, and so it's hard to get 2 people or more, 10 people, syncing on the same idea, because someone always has a different idea of how things are going to look like, right? And so at that time, when that happens, we can do one of 2 things. We can either say, maybe get frustrated that the way we wanted our day to flow isn't flowing that way, right? The way we wanted our lives to flow isn't flowing that way because other people are contributing, right? Or what we can do is we can look at the gifts of other people's contributions and see how it takes our path in different ways, or contributes to the richness of our lives. So that's the first thing. The first way I wanted to talk about receiving people's contributions to our flow is that sometimes when people add to our flow, it changes the direction of our flow. And we can choose to be happy with that, or we can choose to and grateful for that, or we can choose to say, no, that's not the direction I want to go. Hey, let's go this way. And that allows for talk and communication and connection. So there's just a lot of different ways to look at flow and contributions to flow. But if the first thing I would say is to be grateful that people even want to contribute to whatever flow you have, right? Whatever direction you're going. And then if someone is contributing in a way that that makes it hard, maybe have a conversation. I don't know, sit with it a little bit, see if if you can't find the gifts in the contribution. I guess I would say that first. Sit with it a little bit, see if you can't find the gifts of the contribution. And then sometimes we do need to have those, they call them crucial conversations, or where we're like, hey, what's your idea of flow looking like? How can I contribute to yours? And hey, this is my idea of flow. I could really help you. I could really use your help contributing this way. I see that you want to contribute that way. It would be so much better for me if you contribute this way. So, anyway, I just wanted to talk about that. The other thing that I wanted to talk about when it comes to flow and contributions, and somehow it's just gone straight out of my mind. What did I want to talk about? But I really wanted to talk about just being grateful for people contributing to our flow. Oh, I remember what I wanted to talk about. So, let's say your flow for the day is getting some huge project done. Maybe you're in business and you have this huge project that you want to do. Maybe you're at home with your family, right? And you have, like, maybe you're cleaning out the garage that hasn't been cleaned out for 3 months, right? And you have like this idea of how you want everyone, like maybe you're like the manager, or you're heading up this project, right? And you kind of have an idea of how you want it all to go down. Oh, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this, right? Well, as a parent, I think that every parent knows that things don't always go the way you want. Maybe someone can only has the energy to participate part of the time, not the whole time. Maybe someone doesn't have the capabilities that you thought that they had, or they don't want to use the capabilities. Like, not everyone buys into the way we want to flow things, right? And so at those times when if you're the leader and you're not getting, the flow isn't going the way you want, and you see people contributing, but they're not contributing to the extent that we want, right? Again, we have the choice to get frustrated, to get upset, to concentrate on the vision and what wasn't, or we have the gift to concentrate on that people are contributing. And maybe they're not contributing exactly the way we wanted them to contribute, but they're contributing. And who are we to judge what their level of contribution should be, right? That's been kind of a hard thing for me to learn over my life, is who am I to judge what someone is capable of doing, or the reasons that they're not kind of stepping up to the plate. So, again, what I'm saying, to me, so much of this conversation goes back to being thankful for the gifts that are being given. I don't know, I just want to sit with that concept for just a minute. Just being thankful for the gifts that are being given. I have a little wooden plaque in my room, and it says, life doesn't have to be perfect in order to be wonderful. So maybe the project and the way you envisioned it isn't going perfect, but my best guess is it's still wonderful, and we can still enjoy the gifts that people are giving us. As I'm thinking of enjoying the gifts that different people have, my mind instantly went to Winnie the Pooh, right? Winnie the Pooh has different friends, right? He has Piglet. Piglet's anxious and Piglet's scared. And Piglet is still Pooh's best friend. And he has Eeyore, who's kind of like a sad sack, right? A gloom and doom type of person. And Pooh still loves Eeyore anyway. And Kanga and Roo and Tigger, with all Tigger's bounciness, that can bring exuberance and can also be over the top for some, right? And but Pooh loves them all, and they all work so good together on their own on their own adventures, right? You have rabbit who wants to have everything kind of rabbit's way and is so meticulous about how he wants things done. And then you have owl who just loves sharing his wisdom on any little subject, right? And Pooh loves and connects with them all, and Pooh enjoys the gifts of them all. So what I'm saying is we have that ability. We have that Winnie the Pooh like ability to be able to enjoy the gifts of the people around us and how they contribute to our flow if we will open our minds and our eyes and our hearts to the gifts that are really being given. Okay, it all comes down to thankfulness and openness. Okay, so one more time I'm going to read the affirmation for today. I am open to receiving whatever people want to contribute to our flow. Okay, the song for the entire week is just like a fun song. Like I would even say a groovy song from the 60s. Anyway, it's that Monday from the Mamas and the Papas. Just put it on. It's just a feel-good song. If you're starting to get frustrated because your flow isn't going the way you envisioned it, put on Monday and look into see if you can't see the gifts that the Mondays of our life bring, right? Okay, so now it's time to get into our diffuser blend. This week we are diffusing 2 drops of Ylang Ylang. Oh, Caleb, can you please get me my emotions book that's over there somewhere? I think it's on the couch maybe. Anyway, 2 drops Ylang Ylang, which is the oil of the inner child. 2 drops of wild orange, which is the oil of abundance. And 2 drops of fennel, which I'm looking up right now, is the oil of responsibility. I love that word, responsibility, right? Don't we feel so good when we take responsibility and when others take responsibility? I think that's why I love fennel so much. Anyway, but we're not talking about fennel today. That will be Thursday. Today, we are talking about Ylang Ylang, which is the oil of the inner child. Okay, so here are some of the emotional gifts of Ylang Ylang. We will talk about Ylang Ylang's physical gifts on Friday. The first thing that you need to know about Ylang Ylang is that it is a beautiful yellow flower and it's exotic, and the people in tropical places like the Philippines just love it. In fact, they consider it the flower of flowers. And a lot of people connect Ylang Ylang with love, and we're going to get into that a little bit later. But one of the first gifts of Ylang Ylang is that it can help calm the stressed mind. And it can help us if we have a tendency to be overly critical with others and overly critical of ourselves. I think I did those actions wrong. Overly critical of others, overly critical of ourselves. Laugh on that one. Anyway, but it can help us if we tend to be overly critical, because you know that if you are overly critical of others, you are probably overcritical of yourself too, and vice versa. So it can calm down that tendency. Now remember, the word that I'm going to repeat over and over again when it comes to Ylang Ylang is that it calms things down. It soothes things, okay? So it can help soothe feelings of anger or jealousy or panic or fear or frustration. Ylang Ylang, if your flow isn't going the way you want it to go, put on some Ylang Ylang. Okay, it can help us if we're feeling nervous for an interview or an exam. Again, it can help calm and soothe our minds. If we're feeling nervous about love, maybe we're like anxious, oh my goodness, does he love me? Does he not love me? Does she love me? Does she not love me? It can help calm that. It can help. Remember, I was gonna tell you that we're gonna get into the love part of Ylang Ylang. Okay, so here we go. So, it can help with relationships. So when relationships get out of balance, when you're bickering over really petty things, Ylang Ylang can help. When your relationship gets a little flat and it feels like it's lost our romance, when you're not putting enough time or attention into the relationship, a ling can inspire and awaken those feelings of, I remember what it was like to be loved. I want to feel that again. What do I need? How do I need to change things to get that back? Okay. It can, it can help us remember to lead with love. It just, I don't know, smell the oil. I think you'll understand what I'm saying. It can help us be more open to giving love and more open to even receiving love. Sometimes people are really hesitant to receive love because they don't trust it. And that usually happens if, one, a person's been hurt over and over again, or a person just doesn't really even love themselves. So if a person doesn't love themselves, it can be very, very hard to believe that someone else loves them. And so a ling can help with that. It can help us remember that we all deserve love, that we are all lovable. And it can also help us remember that we are creatures of love and that we can easily give love to others. Okay, a ling. It's great for love. It can help us if we're doubtful that people even want our love. It can help us if we struggle to take compliments. We talked a little bit about that yesterday, struggling to take compliments. And it often comes from a place that we don't love ourselves. And so we can't, or we don't think that we're good in whatever it is. And so we struggle to be able to take a compliment in that. I just want to sit with that for just a minute. You are lovable. You are amazing. And if someone gives you a compliment, can you just let it soak in? Just let it soak in to the depths of your heart, all the way down to your feet and back up to your head and then down to your feet. Ground yourself in the compliment that of the gift of love that compliment was. That you are lovable, that you are good. Okay. It can help us develop our emotional and caring and nurturing and intuitive and spiritual sides of our nature. Now, I know that's really a whole long list, so I'm just going to repeat it. It can help us develop our emotions, being connected with our emotions, not being afraid of our emotions. It can help us develop our caring abilities, our nurturing abilities, our intuition, being able to trust our intuition, right? And it can help us develop our spiritual sides of our natures. It's amazing as we even as we start to develop one of those things, it's amazing how so many other of those things are kind of interconnected. When we up-level one, we up-level all of them. When we up-level being connected with our emotions, we seem to up-level being able to hear God more. When we up-level being nurturing, we seem to up-level connecting with our own emotions too, right? So they kind of are all interconnected. Ling is specifically recommended for people who tend to throw tantrums if they don't get their own way. Maybe that's you. Maybe that's your child. Maybe that's your boss. I don't know. But a ling would be wonderful to diffuse in those situations, or to maybe preempt some of those situations. A ling is also specifically recommended for those who have lost interest in work, in personal appearance, in family members or friends. Again, because it can reignite those feelings of passion for things, passion for ourselves. It's great for people with low self-esteem, with anger, rage, or daredevil tendencies. A ling can help balance masculine and feminine energies, so we're not getting in the battle of the sexes, and we can see the gifts of both of those energies and use the gifts of both of those energies. It can help balance sexual energy, so if you have a low libido, or if you have a crazy high libido, it can help with that. And it's great for depression and irritability, anxiety, and it can help bring back feelings of confidence, joy, and peace. Okay, so some of the some of the negative emotions that a ling can help with is feeling joyless, being stressed out, being overanalyzing, which can come from a place of fear, feeling sad, feeling disconnected from the inner child. And the positive properties that can help bring back is being playful, feeling free, connecting with our intuition, feeling emotionally connected, and healing, feeling joyful, and it can connect us back to a state of innocence. Anyway, I think innocence is not the absence of sin. I think innocence is the repentance from sin and getting back to that innocent state. So we all can be innocent. Okay, so that said, those are some of the gifts of Iling. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about the emotional gifts of wild orange, and then again on Friday we're going to be talking about the physical gifts of each of the 3 oils. Reminding you one last time that the oils we're diffusing the entire week are 2 drops of Iling, the oil of the inner child, 2 drops of wild orange, the oil of abundance, and 2 drops of fennel, the oil of responsibility. Our song for this week is Monday, just a fun, soothing song. And the affirmation for today is, I am open to receiving whatever people want to contribute to our flow. And the affirmation for the entire week is, I am graciously accepting from others. Okay, I know you're gracious. I know you're open. I know as we concentrate on these, we can increase how gracious we are. We can increase how open we are. We can increase how joyous and happy we are. Thanks for being on this journey with me. This is Suzanne Williams with Essential Oils, Health Matters, and Living the Wholesome Life, reminding us that we all have the power in us with God to make it a great day. Bye-bye.